love hoppers, and welcome to MuchoHop. Now today's Thursday and I'm preparing a video on solo travel, and I was thinking about my first real solo trip. And I remember it was from Madrid. Normally when I used to go to my family house in Spain, my parents would be working in New York and they would ship me off to Spain for the summer, and I always had to stop in Madrid because there wasn't a direct flight to La Coruña from New York City. So one year I decided to stay in Madrid, get a hotel, stay a few days there. Actually, this is the picture of me in the hotel. It's a very bad picture. Back then we didn't have, you know, selfies, and I actually got more of the desk or the table where I had put my camera than me. Actually, well, you can still see me. My eyes are closed. It's not the best picture, but I think you get the idea. The hotel was a dump. It was very cheap because when you're young and you don't have money and you want to travel, you have to be on a budget, and that's what I was. I looked for an inexpensive hotel right in the city center of Madrid. I remember it's La Calle Preciados. The street is called Preciados. There's still hotels there today. You know, it's a very popular area in Madrid and there are a lot of tourists there. So I stayed in the city center in Madrid so it'd be easy to see like the most popular sites. And you know, I went to see the typical Plaza de España, and I went to see El Prado, the very famous museum El Prado, and I went to see other things. But then I decided to take a one-day bus tour because there are a lot of historical places around Madrid, and I actually took a bus tour that took me to Avila, to Segovia, and to a few more places, to like this El Escorial, which is a palace where the kings were buried. And the good thing about taking these bus tours is that if you're really not that experienced, or you're a little bit afraid, or you're going alone, it's a great way to travel because you don't have to really plan anything out. You just have to pay your ticket, get on the bus, and then they take you everywhere, so you don't really have to worry. There are tons of bus tours from Madrid, and for less than like 100 euros you could actually see a lot. And that's what I did. I took one of these bus tours. It was the whole entire day. I went to like 4 different places. Here is one of the pictures I took when we stopped in Avila. And actually somebody on the tour bus took this picture of me. I met some young people and they took a, you know, I asked them to take a picture. And that's what happens when you travel by yourself. You end up meeting people and exchanging phone numbers. Nowadays you exchange emails and WhatsApps and Facebook, whatever. But back then we exchanged phone numbers and we exchanged addresses. Mail addresses. That's how it was back then. There was no internet. So I actually found my hotel and I found about the tour. I found this out like in the tourism office of Spain in New York City. And there were books and magazines that I read also to get all the information. You can also get this information at the airport. They usually have a tourism office there, and you can find out about different trips or tours that they can have. So you can find that out there. But nowadays we have the internet. It's so much easier. And you have street view, so you can actually see the front door of the hotel you're going to. I mean, like I said, my hotel was sort of dumpy. I had a shared bathroom. It wasn't the best thing, but look, you know, I was young, so I didn't really care about these things. I just wanted to travel. I wanted to see places and do things and go on this adventure. You know, I was young. I was in my early 20s. And it was a lot of fun. For me, it was like an adventure. You know, when I told my parents, okay, I'm leaving, I'm going to Madrid and spending a few days like roaming around, they're like, what? Be careful, you know, this and that. But it was fun, and it's something that I look back on. And then the next place we stopped at is Segovia, which is an amazing place. They have this really cool castle palace. And they also have an aqueduct. It's like amazing. It's a huge aqueduct. I went, like I said, many years ago. I don't know how it is now, but I had to fight with traffic because the traffic went through the aqueduct. I'm not sure if they still have that. I hope not, because it's very difficult to take a picture, and I'm actually the little person there in the picture. That's me. It was very difficult to take this picture, like I said, because there were cars going through the aqueduct back and forth, so it wasn't the easiest setting. But it was really cool, and I have lots of memories from this trip because it was my first real solo trip. I mean, I had been on planes many times by myself. Even like at the age of 7, I started going by myself. My parents would just put me on the plane and ship me off, and I was okay with it. I don't know, I guess because I was used to it, because I started when I was 5. So at 7 I was experienced. It's just like really crazy. But that's how it was. There wasn't that fear back then. Maybe ignorance, I don't know. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have that much information out there. So, you know, you just put your child on a plane, and then a few thousand miles later they're at another place, you know. But it was okay. It was okay. I don't remember like having trauma or anything like that. I actually enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved going on the plane and, you know, thinking I was cool that I was traveling by myself. That was more like at the age of 15 and of 17. I mean, I was an expert by then. And I remember once going by myself and the stewardess like trying to help me out, you know. I was like, oh please, you know, there's no need. I know how this works. So this is where MuchoHop all started, you know. I started very young, and I still do it because, well, I have to do a video one day on why I travel so much, because it's a long story. So yeah, it was quite an adventure. I had a great time, and that's what happens with solo travel. You're a little bit nervous, but you feel accomplished when you are able to go from one place to another and enjoy and see the things you want to see, and it's really cool. You know, I like it. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes you end up talking to the people either on the bus or that you find in your travels, which is also very cool because you meet people from all over the world.